The Guardian at the Threshold. There's something I want to talk about that most people don't have language for. There is a guardian at the threshold of our shadow. And if you've done any real inner work, you know exactly what I mean. I was 9 years old when something happened that shaped the way I moved through the world. I was living in a community for handicapped children. The residents lived in the house and the staff brought their families. So there were a lot of us staff kids, kind of orbiting the edges of a system that was focused somewhere else. And in a place like that, attention goes where it has to go. It goes to what is loud. It goes to what is urgent. It goes to what is unpredictable, which meant it was very easy to be overlooked. And I was. Something happened to me during that time. I was crossed in a way a child shouldn't be. And it wasn't handled in a way that brought resolution. The person was asked to leave, but I still had to exist in proximity to it. I was still in the same world, and I was there for years. And so my system did what all of our systems do. It created meaning. The meaning I formed was, my father didn't protect me. Now that belief wasn't random. It wasn't weakness. It was the best structure available to a 9-year-old trying to make sense of something overwhelming. But what I didn't know then was that the belief would outlive the moment. It would follow me. It would shape how I saw people. It would shape what I expected. And if I'm honest, it would shape what I allowed. And somewhere along the way, a guardian was built. That guardian was not built consciously, but something in me decided, we are not going back there like that again. And that guardian shows up in ways that look normal. It looks like awareness. It looks like being prepared. It looks like staying one step ahead. It looks like a set of decisions I live by. I will handle it. I will see it before it happens. I will not need anyone to step in for me. Years later, I found myself in ceremony. And in one of those ceremonies, I came up against that guardian directly. If you've been there, you know this. It does not show up as a gentle voice. It shows up like a threshold. It feels like a line you are not supposed to cross. And it tells you something like this. If you go in there, there will be chaos. And I believed that. I believed that if I went back into that place, I would find something broken. I believed I would find something damaged. I believed I would find something I would not be able to handle. But I had support. I had a container. And something else showed up. It was something I can only describe as light. The light felt golden. The light felt present. The light felt unmoving. It was not something I created. It was something I connected to. And I made a choice. I chose to go past the guardian. And what I expected to find was chaos. What I expected to find was damage. But what I found was something very different. I did not find chaos. I did not find damage. I found the absence of what I feared. There was no structure there, except the one I had built. That structure was the belief my father didn't protect me. Now listen carefully, because this part matters. It would be easy to take that experience and say, there was never an injury, but that is not true. Something did happen. A child was left without what he needed, and that matters. But what I saw was this. The injury was not in my soul. The injury was not in my essence. The injury was in the meaning I had to create in order to survive. And here's where it becomes real. Holding on to that meaning and holding on to that identity did not protect me. It organized my life around proving itself true. I would meet people who could confirm it. I would enter situations that echoed it. This was not because the world was cruel. It was because I was still living inside the structure of that belief. And the way out was not to fight it. And it was not to pretend it did not happen. The way out was to go back. I did not go back as the child. I went back as the man I am now. Because what that 9-year-old needed was not a new philosophy. He needed someone to finally turn toward him and say, I see what happened. You did not deserve that. I'm here now. And something else shifted too. My relationship to protection began to change. Because the truth is this. I experienced a father who did not step in. From my perspective as a child, he did not act. And what I needed in that moment was something very different. I needed someone to move. I needed someone to intervene. I needed someone to say, no, this stops now. So I became the one who would handle things. I learned to move quietly. I learned to move steadily. I learned to rely on myself. I built structure. I built awareness. I learned how to see. I learned how to protect myself by staying clear and by staying a little bit removed. But underneath that, there is still a part of me that believed if I do not stay aware and if I do not stay in control, I could be there again. And what I see now is this. That is not true anymore. There is stability in my life now. There is support in my life now. There are people who can meet me if I allow them to. And the shift is not just about seeing that. The shift is about allowing it. Because there is a difference between being with someone and monitoring whether it is safe to be with them. That is the guardian. And the work now is not to destroy it. It did its job. It protected me when I needed protection. The work now is to stop letting it run everything. It is to create a small amount of space. It is to notice when I'm holding my position instead of resting in myself. It is to notice when I am staying in control instead of allowing support. Because the man I am becoming is not just structured. He is not just aware. He creates safety. He allows connection. He allows himself to be met. And that might be the hardest part of all of this. Going into the shadow is not the hardest part. The hardest part is coming out of it and letting life touch you differently. So if you feel that guardian in your life, if you feel that resistance, if you feel that tension, and if you feel that sense that something will fall apart if you go there, just know this. On the other side of that threshold, there is not chaos. There is a part of you that has been waiting for you to come back. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.